Okay, so it's New Year's Day, just after midday, and the boys have turned up. We're still waiting on Kent. Kent's a bit late, but that's probably normal. Yeah, no, basically everything's sort of all right. Mr. PSI was on the dyno yesterday. Lots of little problems, but we don't know whether we've ironed them out or not, and it's sort of typical last minute HPF stuff going on. But what can we do? So we've got the cars loaded up. The utes all ready to do the burnout comp. We had a bit of a practice in the street earlier on. Don't tell the police about that. The 300C is running, so at least we can get it on and off the trailer, but really it's just going up there for display. So yeah, I suppose it's fingers crossed with Mr. PSI at the moment. We're not anywhere near as prepared as it would have liked to have been, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. And I suppose we'll see what happens when we get up there, but no, it should all be good. Anyway, yeah, we'll next time I talk to you, it'll be probably at the Summernats.
What's pants, Rob?
I'm so bored.
From your home, boys?
They're George's pants. I finally got into George's pants. Let it rip. Let it rip. Okay, so it's 11 o'clock or just before. We're on the dyno at 11, so we're just getting Mr. PSI ready. We're not going to push it too hard today. It's just qualifying, so the main thing is to get it through to the finals. There's not really any competition. I just went and had a look at the board, and I think the closest car to us in the small block turbocharged class is 517 horsepower. So yeah, look, I don't want to be too cocky, but certainly I'll be confident that we're going to qualify. And then look, we're not, as I said sort of from the start, we're not going to push it too hard. We're really here just in honour of Lyle, and we want to make sure that we hopefully, you know, win the trophy for him, be able to give that to his wife as a keepsake. I think that'd be a nice gesture from us. So yeah, look, a little bit of nerves as always, but the boys have got it all under control. And yeah, we'll probably talk to you after we've run it up and see how we went. Okay, for those of you who don't know, the relationship between myself, Horsepower Factory, or Amberley Autos as it was known then, and the Summernats goes back to 2000. In 2000 I went to the Summernats for the first time and I took my VS Ute, which was a supercharged 355 that I'd built, and basically decided to enter it into the Horsepower Heroes competition, and amazingly I won it that year, and with 527 horsepower at the wheels. Qualified with 460, got in on the day of the finals, got in early, was the first person, got some clean air, and was lucky enough really to knock off the two people that should have beat me, which was Todd Wilkes and Dean Mackin, who are pretty well known Commodore people. And anyway, the following year I went back and had high hopes, but Todd Wilkes had built a 355 powered Holden Giudicodolo and was twin turboed, pretty cool car, and made 890 horsepower, and I came second, I think, with around 700 horsepower. It was disappointing, but I still had that fire to try and compete. And the nice thing was that the guys in the competition of those days, Jason Gray, Todd Wilkes, Dean Mackin, myself, Rob, we all got along really well, and we all fed off each other, gave each other ideas. It was just a really good time. We'd go to the Summernats and we'd go out at night drinking and having fun, and I think that's what I really loved about going to the Summernats and competing in the Horsepower Heroes, was probably the friendship as much as anything. Unfortunately, that year or the following year, Todd passed away in a pretty famous accident now at Eastern Creek, and smashed his Giudicodolo into a wall at high speed. And I can remember lying in bed and thinking, you know, what can I do? I was upset, and I felt like, you know, maybe the best thing that I could do for him was to go back and win the following year. And The trophy that I've actually got with me here is the Todd Wilkes Memorial Trophy, and they named the competition after him that year. And I pulled the supercharger off my ute, put a couple of turbos on it, and went back and was just blown away with the reaction. And I was the first person in the competition at the Summernats to make 1,000 rear-wheel horsepower. I can still remember the crowd going mental and just the buzz. I mean, people just thought 1,000 rear-wheel horsepower was unachievable, and you know, we were lucky enough to do it. And yeah, it was an awesome achievement to be able to do it in Todd's memory. And I think, you know, that was something. Maybe he was with me, I don't know, but it was just a great time. Since then, I suppose, you know, we've moved on. I've worked with customers and got into business, obviously, which has brought customers to me. That we've worked with cars like Try Hard and Mr. PSI, and I suppose over the last few years, we've really done well and dominated the competition, breaking records. We've actually, as a company, now won it 5 times. Twice myself, twice with Try Hard. And this year we won it with Mr. PSI, which again was a bittersweet victory because, as you will have seen on the show, Lyle, the owner of Mr. PSI, passed away. And so for us, again, it was a case of going back as a tribute to him to really try and win it for him. So, you know, look, the Horsepower Heroes competition is an interesting competition. It's something that a lot of people don't understand. I think they think that it's all a big joke, Dyno Queens, whatever. I think for me, it's just a great opportunity to showcase my car building skills, my company's tuning skills, and really, you know, it's a level platform that anyone can go there, whether you built the car in your garage. And I think that's worth pointing out. I mean, when I won it in 2000 and even in 2002, I built that car in my garage. I literally put it together in my garage. I can still remember my wife, you know, saying when I knocked on the back door, who are you? Do you live here? And I spent that much time in the garage. It was just crazy leading up to the Summernats. So, you know, I suppose for me it was just a great opportunity. And I think when I look back at some of the footage, and I probably get a bit embarrassed how excited I got over it, but I think that's just a culmination of just how many hours I spent building that car, you know, just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours. I think I worked it out once, it was over 1,000 hours I'd spent, you know, prior to the Summernats preparing the car. And I think to get a result and achievement, I think that emotion comes out. So, you know, look, I still think the competition has a lot to offer. It seems that this year it's sort of, you know, going downhill a little bit with the level of competition, but overall, you know, it's a pretty good endorsement, I think, for companies that want to go there and show their ability. And I hope that other companies really embrace that, and you know, we see more bigger cars being built in the years to come. But anyway, I just thought you might like to see some of these trophies, and it's something that I don't get out very often and show people, but certainly something I'm very proud of. So maybe we'll see you at the Summernats at the Horsepower Heroes.
What was that?
Going to be up and down on the roof, yeah! And the crowd is going to go off. It's going to be massive. It's going to be as big as it gets. Rob Vickery, stay tuned.
So we're just outside the dyno cell. Yesterday Mr. PSI qualified first with 1,450 horsepower at the wheels. Did 3 runs, 1,450, 1,430, and 1390 I think, so we're the highest qualifier. There's not really too much too close to us, but still a bit nervous. You don't know, you've got to get on the dyno and anything can happen, so I think it's about half an hour till we run, so the nerves are a little bit up, and just to cap it off, I've got the car lined up for the Burnout comp, so that's my first ever finals in front of the big crowd. It's a bit nerve-wracking, but looking forward to it, and hopefully I can make the boys proud, because they've been giving me grief all weekend about not being a sissy, so we'll see how we go. But yeah, it's been a big couple of days and the old voice is gone. We had a big night last night and I'm looking forward to getting home to bed, so yeah, we'll see how we go and rock on. Something that really tragic happened at the start of last year, and that is that the owner of this car here, Lyle, passed away. He was only 32, he had a heart attack. He's got a wife and 2 kids that he left behind, so very sad story. I spoke to his wife later last year and said, could we complete the car in his memory or in his honour? And it just felt like something that we could do and control that would mean something to him, that I know it would. And I'd just like everyone to, maybe think about guys like Rob, because he's the force behind that car. He was the guy that lived the dream. He asked me to build the car for him, and if it wasn't for him, he wouldn't have Mr. PSI. And he was just a great guy, and it's a very sad day today, because I know if he was here, he'd be smiling from ear to ear. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Thanks.
Look at this. Who got him out of this shit? Was it Mark Arblaster? He's having a good, hard look. So it's Pagani. They know that there's something very special right here. Ladies and gentlemen, rampaging Rob Vickery. Charge, because I put that under the back. Ladies and gentlemen, from Victory! Doesn't he get out? Oh, he's excited. First time in this event, and the boss is up there too. Well, ladies and gentlemen, riding the shotgun, and of course, was the boss and so on here. And he is certainly a monster. For the ladies and gentlemen, round of applause as he leads. Rampaging Rob Vickery. I was just asking as he goes past, Rob, did you enjoy that? You had a big smile on your face. Was that good stuff? Yeah, he said that was pretty fun. A little bit of custard.
I just finished the Burnout comp. You can see there's a little bit of carnage going on here. When it blew the tyre, it took out the inner guard and fuel filler cap. Lost all gears in it because the cable for the ratchet shifter melted, so she rolled back into the fence. I think I clipped the fence a couple of times doing donuts, but look, it was all worth it. It was awesome. But there's something else I want to show you around here because we also had a bit of success in the dyno. As you can see, Mr. PSI got highest overall power with 1500 odd rear wheel. We didn't push it too hard. The main objective was to bring it back in one piece, and we're pretty proud to do that for Lyle. I suppose it's something that he would have liked to be here and see the win finally, because that's what we built the car for him. But yeah, this is for him anyway, and we're just proud to do it for him, and we'll be sending that up to his wife and kids. So yeah, so look mate, I'm going to get out of here. I need a beer and a shower. I'm feeling terrible, hungover. But that's Summernats, mate, and we love it. So probably see you next time.